Story is a little lengthy, so bear with me on this one. So, to give you a little backstory, I live in a small town called Belton in Texas. Story is a little lengthy, so bear with me on this one. So, to give you a little backstory, I live in a small town called Belton in Texas. I'm an 18-year-old boy. I weigh about 195 pounds. I'm 5'6", and I'm a fairly athletic person. I played football, and I knew a little bit of martial arts and boxing, but I always carry a pocket knife on me for work, if anything happens when I need it. Anyway, this happened a couple of weeks ago. After I got off work at McDonald's, it was around 12 AM, and I had to walk home because my mum was out with her friends. Now, my house is about an hour away from walking distance, and halfway there is a park. I stopped at the park because I was tired from work, and I was hungry after work as well. I usually take something with me to eat, so I sat down on one of the park benches. I started eating my food and saw 3 kids playing at the park at this time. I was thinking, man, shouldn't these kids be at home sleeping or something? But I brushed it off and continued to eat my food and started to get on my phone, and was about to start listening to music, but I stopped. When I noticed that I didn't hear any of the kids playing, so I looked around and saw a man talking to them. At first I thought it was one of the boys' fathers, worried about them, but then I got a clear look at the man, who was illuminated by the streetlights, and what I saw was he looked kinda dirty and greasy looking. I heard him offering the kids candy and such. I thought, oh hell no, I have to save those kids. I walked over to them and I asked what the guy was doing trying to prey on little kids, but he played dumb, but I wasn't buying it. Now that I was face to face with the guy, he was older looking than I thought. He was in his late 30s, early 40s, about 6 foot, and a little more muscular than me. He had a scraggly beard and a couple of missing teeth. I again demanded what he was doing. He said, none of your business, to which I replied, it is my business if it involves you messing with children. The guy then inches his way towards me trying to pick a fight. I immediately pulled out my pocket knife, told him not to think about it, and I told him he had 5 seconds to get out of here, or I would shiv his stomach until I was bored. I started counting down. 5, 4, inching my way closer to him. 3. The guy ran into his car, which was parked a few yards away from where we were. I gave chase, making sure he left. I beat on the side of his car, until he pulled off and hauled us away. I tried to get his license plate number and report it to the cops, but there wasn't one. Well, not a visible one that I saw. So I have to walk the kids home. It was a little off from my house, but I was willing to make a side trip to make sure these kids were okay. The 2 boys were brothers, and I dropped them off at their house and told their mother what happened. She thanked me, and I told her to call the cops when she gets a chance, and take the other kid home, who lived in a somewhat sketchy neighborhood, but it wasn't as bad as others I've been to or seen. Anyways, I get the feeling that we're being followed, and I was right. It was the same man from before. This was either by pure coincidence, or he was stalking, following us in his car. He wasn't directly behind us, but only a few yards away, but he was still following us. I took the boy to his house, and like a dumbass, forgot about the man. Until he knocked me to the ground. He was clearly going for the kid, and was trying to grab him and run away. I grabbed the man's ankle, making him trip, and was screaming at the kid to go get me help. The man started fighting out of it, and he was stronger than I expected. Then he pushed me to the ground and pinned me. He then tried reaching into my pocket trying to grab my pocket knife. I fought like hell trying to get him off me, but he was too heavy. Just as if on cue, the cops pulled the man off of me and put him in the cop car. One of the officers asked me some questions and asked me if I was alright and if I would like a ride home. The kid's mum thanked me and asked me if I was alright as well. I told her I'm fine and I was thankful that she called the cops. I told my mum the story about what happened, and she was thankful that I was alright. She hugged and kissed me as well as crying. I soon found out the man was in prison. Apparently this was not his first crime, nor his first act of child molestation, and he was in prison. I thought, good. He deserves to rot for what he did and what he was going to do. Now, I should say this. I'm not a big fan of kids. If you asked me if I wanted kids, I would say no. But I still wouldn't want any harm done to them. So to the man, and any sick fucks trying to prey on kids, you better make sure I'm not around, because I will cut you.